all rise for the bride. Friends and family, we are gathered here and have been invited to this lovely place today, this place of God's wonder and creation. Isaiah 55:12 says, "For you shall go out in joy and be led forth in peace. The mountains and the hills before you shall break forth into singing, and the trees of the field shall clap their hands." David said in Psalm 19, "The heavens declare the glory of God, and the sky above proclaims his handiwork." Zack and Skylar have asked us to be here and to share this most special moment in their lives. In the time that they have been together, their love and understanding for each other has grown and matured, and they have decided to live their lives together as husband and wife. Who gives this woman away to be married?
I do, her father, for her mother as well.
All right. You can be seated. From the beginning, God created the institution of the home. The Old Testament is filled with examples of a plenty of faithful and happy marriages. He created Adam and Eve in the relationship of marriage. Abraham and Sarah, though not without their own trials and tribulations, had a long-lasting relationship that brought forth a great nation. Jacob loved Rachel enough to work double his initial agreement, and Solomon spoke of his young love in the Song of Songs. God has blessed us with many wonderful examples for us to pattern our lives after. Skylar and Zack, nothing is easier than saying words, and nothing is harder than living them every day. What you promise today must be redecided and reconfirmed tomorrow. At the end of this ceremony, you will legally be man and wife, but you will still must decide each and every day that stretches out that you want to be married. The Song of Solomon says, "My beloved is mine and I am his. After this day you will belong to each other, combining your lives in marriage and faithful love through thick or thin." This day, in front of these witnesses, you are beginning that life together by combining your love and your lives. Love is a grand thing. Paul says in 1 Corinthians 13, "Love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not envy or boast and is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. Love does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never fails." From the beginning, God had intended for man not to be alone. The Lord God said, "It is not good that man should be alone. I will make a helpmeet for him." Genesis 2:18. Solomon said in Proverbs 18:22, "Whoso findeth a good wife findeth a good thing and obtain favor of the Lord." Paul would say about the relationship in Ephesians chapter 5, "Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself for it. And wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord." The vows that you have written and are about to exchange are not to be taken without careful thought and prayer. For in them you are committing yourselves exclusively to one another for as long as you both shall live. Zack, do you have your vows for Skylar?
Yes. Skylar, the first time I heard you pray was in Algonquin Park, under the stars, with Mars in plain sight. Hearing the awe in your voice, the trust you had in God, was so inspiring and was the first step I took towards Christ. This was when I knew you were the one for me. Your spontaneous adventuresome, and always willing to take me to new and exciting places, even if I hesitate without having a plan. You show me that things are not solely what we can perceive, and that we can trust in God that things will work out. Skylar, I vow to put God at the center of our relationship. I vow to cherish you above all. I vow to be always curious about you and never accept I know you entirely. I vow to bring you to Christ when you are lost. I vow to be the steward of your soul. I vow to be on call 24/7 for all spider, ant, moth, and other bug-related emergencies. I vow to be your partner, not just on this earth, but in heaven for eternity. I love you, Skylar.
Skylar, your vows for Zack.
Zack, you are an extraordinary man. As soon as I met you, I somehow knew that we would end up here. Something about the way you looked at me and carried yourself, or maybe it was the thoroughly detailed plan that you texted me about our next date. When we first began dating, I was pretty sure you were a robot, as I have never met a man like you who excels in absolutely everything you do. You push yourself every day to show up in life, and you never seem to get tired. Emotionally, mentally, and physically. I remember you waking up at 5 a.m. to go bike up a mountain, and then come back, make breakfast, and then work a full day. You always seem to have energy. And I learned very quickly that Zack Finewax is going to do something. He's going to be all in. You've made it very easy to fully love you. So I've chosen to love you completely with all the reckless abandonment that Jesus loves us. Not to change you or make you love me back or to gain anything at all. I just wanted to love you. I love your mistakes, our differences, any part of you that I'm lucky enough to see. And the more I've gotten to know you the past 4 years, the more that love has intensified. I love the way you listen, how you pursue me, how you continue to send me long good morning messages and check in throughout the day, even if I don't respond. I love how you believe that there is good in everyone and that you have so much hope and positivity about the people in the world around us. So Zack, I vow to love you with every ounce of myself. I vow to pursue comfort, or vow to never pursue comfort over calling. And I vow to put your soul first for all eternity. I promise to always see you with the same eyes that I'm seeing you today, despite how old we get or any life circumstance. I vow to fight you for your dreams, goals, and any battle that you may face. And I vow to remind you of who you are in God's eyes when the world tells you something different. Then Zack, I vow to choose you, and I'll choose you over and over again. Without pause, without doubt, I'll keep choosing you.
Your professions of love are perfect, heartfelt, genuine, and they have very wonderfully described your relationship. This love and dedication is not to be diminished by difficult circumstances, and is only to be dissolved by death. As you build your home together, remember it's not built upon foundations of comfort or others, but upon the foundation that God has laid in the vows that you are taking. Zachary Asher Theodore Finewax, will you take Skylar to be your lawfully wedded wife, and to live with her in submission to God's commands in his sacred bond of marriage, to love her, to comfort her, honor and keep her in sickness and health, forsaking all others, keeping yourself for her until death do you part?
I do.
Skylar Elizabeth Howard, will you take Zack to be your lawfully wedded husband, to live with him in submission to God's commands, in his sacred bond of marriage, to love him, comfort him, honor and keep him in sickness and in health, forsaking all others, keeping yourself for him only, until death do you part?
I do.
In order to show their unity, there is a tree up here. And in Isaiah 55, 12 and 13, a passage we noticed a moment ago, the prophet said, "You will go out in joy and be led forth in peace. The mountains and hills will burst forth in song before you, and the trees of the field will clap their hands. Instead of the thorn bush will grow the juniper, and instead of the briars, the myrtles will grow. This will be for the Lord's renown, for an everlasting sign that will endure forever." The psalmist said, "Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the wicked, but his delight is in the law of the Lord, and on his law he meditates day and night. He is like a tree planted by streams of water that yield its fruit in its season, and its leaf does not wither. And all that he does, he prospers." Zack and Skylar, your home is a special place, a place where you have brought beautiful flowers and plants to establish them, to nurture and care for them, that they may forever surround you with the beauty we now see. And into this place where we stand, you have brought something else that is beautiful, the relationship that is becoming your marriage. Here you are declaring it and pledging it, promising to establish and nurture it. We are aware of the special beauty between the two of you, just as we are aware of the special beauty of this place. We are now with you in this place to celebrate your relationship as it is and as it is yet to be. And in doing so, we ask only that you remember how your life together will have the same seasons and needs as your garden. There will be growth like spring, loss like fall. There will be giving and blossoming of flower, and rest as the seed beneath the snow. All the seasons will be yours, but remember too that gardens are not without work. The more wonderful the garden, the more skilled the gardener. So you will have to care deeply for your new tree and for the life that is now yours together. To nurture it, appreciate your differences, and cultivate them. You will have to take care of yourself, if for no reason out of love for the other. And you will need the support of family and friends to reach full growth. As you caringly choose to plant this tree and water it today as a declaration of your marriage, so remember its lessons for your life, together through the seasons that are yours to share, and may those seasons bring you and yours joy and happiness. To further symbolize this marriage, the marking of passage into husband and wife is met by the exchange of rings. These rings are a symbol of the unbroken circle of love that's freely given and has no beginning and no end. Love freely given is what we have seen here today, and may these rings always remind you of the vows that you have taken. Zack, do you have the ring?
Yes.
Take it and put it on her ring finger. Yep.
Whoops.
And then repeat after me. I, Zack,
I, Zack,
take you, Skylar,
take you, Skylar,
to be my wedded wife,
to be my wedded wife,
to have and to hold,
to have and to hold,
from this day forward,
from this day forward,
for better,
for better,
for worse,
for worse,
for richer or poor,
for richer or poorer,
in sickness or in health,
in sickness or in health,
to love and to cherish,
to love and to cherish,
to death do us part.
till death do us part.
I pledge you my faithfulness.
I pledge you my faithfulness.
Skylar? All right, place it upon his finger and repeat after me. I, Skylar,
I, Skylar,
take you, Zack,
take you, Zack,
to be my wedded husband,
to be my wedded husband,
to have and to hold,
to have and to hold,
from this day forward,
from this day forward,
for better or worse,
for better or worse,
for richer or poorer,
for richer or poorer,
in sickness or in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love and to cherish,
to love and to cherish,
to death do us part.
till death do us part.
I pledge you my faithfulness.
I pledge you my faithfulness.
Zack and Skylar, you have brought us all together in this most wonderful of places, And what God has put together today, let no man put asunder. Inasmuch as you have pledged your love one to another by the authority that is given me, I hereby announce you man and wife. You may kiss your bride. Friends and family, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you for the first time Mr. and Mrs. Zachary Finewax.